Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. I'm Linda from Plug and Drive. We're a not-for-profit, and we're committed to accelerating EV adoption in Canada. Again, we have a very aggressive vision of getting 100% electric vehicle sales by 2035. We provide virtual and in-house education and awareness. We offer test drives at our center. We offer test drives from our meat trailer. Our meat trailer travels across the country, educating people on EVs, and we do road shows all over Ontario. We're a not-for-profit, so we don't sell anything. We're just hoping to inspire you all to go electric as soon as possible. And anyway, we have some great sponsors. Thank you to them. This is kind of a simplified version of what's happening on our planet, but basically you can see in 1850, the sun's rays would come down and they would bounce up and exit our environment, quite easily. Now that we're adding additional 58 billion tons per year of greenhouse gases, it's not going as well. So the heat is getting trapped in the atmosphere. I don't know about you, but I noticed there's a lot more cloudy days, especially in the winter here in Ontario. So that thicker blanket of cloud is retaining heat, and that's not good. This is what the greenhouse gas emissions look like for us. 33% is transportation. That includes our personal cars. Industrial, 29%, and residential, 22%. So you can see that just removing this is huge. That's like a third of what's happening. So that's where we sit. I know we have some people with heat pumps and various things today, so that's getting worked on as well. We will get there. Industrial will probably be the last to convert, but it's more complicated. But just doing this and this is huge. Ontario has an actually pretty clean grid. We don't have coal anymore. I can remember the days, I'm dating myself, of when there was like orange haze over the city of Toronto. So we have almost 60% nuclear, hydro's at 24%, renewables at 9%, we'd like to see that go up, and natural gas at 7%. So the natural gas component, there's about 12 plants, that kicks in when everything else is burdened. So we're pretty clean that way. When we see the natural gas go up is actually in the summer when people are running their air conditioners. And the renewables can spike as well. When it's a windy day, you can see as much as 28% of our grid running on wind, which is amazing. So we want to continue with all of that. Just a little history of the electric car. There are different versions. First, we have the hybrid EV. So you've got an electric motor, but you also have a battery. They run concurrently. Great car. The most famous of that was the Prius, which sold about 5 million cars and many still running on the road. Following that, we have the plug-in hybrid EV. So you have a larger battery. You still have an electric motor and a gasoline engine, but you can run on the battery just on its own. It's not running concurrently. So that means for most of us, you could go day to day from 50 to 100 kilometers and not use your engine. So that's also a great step forward. You save money, the environment wins, it's all good. Our battery electric vehicles, the full battery electric vehicle, of course, is optimal. And these are really coming of age at this point. A lot of people were in this space because of the range anxiety, et cetera. But most cars these days, I would say at least 400 kilometers, but the new cars are pushing 600 kilometers, all the way up to 1,000 kilometers. So we are getting there, yeah. So this is the common EV chassis skateboard, it's called. Looks like a skateboard. So you've got an electric motor on top of both wheels. This is the battery, so not what you would expect. It's a long flatbed with cells inside it that look more like batteries that you would think of. The advantage of this is it's low to the ground. The weight is evenly distributed, so they handle really well in winter and on corners. Of course, you still need, winter tires and so forth, and they're a little bit heavier. So I can remember the days, again, dating myself, of putting like cat litter in my trunk and things like that in the winter just to keep the vehicle stable. EVs already come with evenly distributed weight, so they're fantastic in the winter. This is why countries like Sweden and Norway and Denmark are doing so well with them. They're winter countries. If they can do it, we can do it. Those countries are like at 95% adoption. It's fantastic. So what are the benefits? This is, some of the cars that are running on the road are still 300 kilometers or so. And for some people, that could be great. If you're not a road tripper, not everybody is. It's a lot of range. But as I mentioned, the new cars are more closer to 500, surpassing 600 these days. I just bought an Ioniq 6 and it has 583 kilometers, so I'm very excited. They save money. This has definitely gone up. There's no maintenance on an EV, and you're not buying gas and doing oil and filter changes anymore, and that does add up. This is an era right now that we're in that gas is really expensive. So over the life of the car, we now know that the EV is actually cheaper. When you do at the 4-year mark, you probably break even, and after that, you're doing better. All right, so in an EV, you have the brakes, the tires, and the suspension, and that's really the things that you have to monitor. So you don't have regular checkups per se. Usually when you go in to change your winter and summer tires, they'll take a quick look. That's basically the maintenance on an EV. So what they don't have is oil or oil filters, engine air filters, spark plugs, exhaust systems, and a gas tank. That's all gone. Unless you're a tinkerer and a car collector, you won't miss any of those things. Trust me, not at all. All right, so what else? From the environment perspective, you're saving, or reducing, I should say, 90% of the greenhouse gases when you buy an EV. That does include the lithium mining and the manufacturing of the car. Of course, once you drive it, you're emitting nothing. So the lithium mining, yes, there is some environmental impact, but nothing like oil and gas at all. 50 plus models available now. Used to be Tesla and maybe a couple of others. Now I would say there's more like 70 plus models, and the Chinese cars are coming, so get ready for that. And there's really a car now for everybody. We have something on our website called the EV Match Tool. So you would enter all your personal data in as far as like your style of car, and you're looking for a hybrid or you're looking for a full battery, how far do you drive every day, those kinds of things. And it will recommend some cars for you, cars that are available now in Canada. So it's a great little exercise just to see what it thinks you should buy. But you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. But it just gives you an idea of maybe what car might be right for you. Charging, very important. I think what people don't understand, and I've been doing this since 2015, is you can go home with your EV and plug it into the 110 plug in your garage or outside your home. You don't need a charger, depending on how much you drive. Again, over 80% of us drive less than 100 kilometers a day. And if that's the case, 1 hour of charge will give you 8 kilometers of driving overnight. So if you think about it, you start at 7 at night till 7 in the morning. That's 12 hours of charging. So you can easily add what you've used in the day, unless you've gone on an extended trip or something like that. Level 2 is still a home charger, and you would put that into your house, and you would have to add like a stove or a dryer plug as opposed to just the regular old 110. So there's more of a cost involved, but it will charge much more quickly. It'll give you 30 to 60 kilometers of driving an hour. So you could, if you're doing more than 100 a day, you probably want to get something like that. And some people do. Level 3, that is when you're out on a road trip and you're going You're going the distance. You're on vacation now. So 1 hour of charge, this is actually a little bit dated, 200 to 500 kilometers of driving. You can do that now in some of the new cars in 18 minutes. I just got the 5-minute queue. All right, moving right along. These are what some of the charging companies look like. You'll notice at some of the gas stations, the gas companies are offering charging. So they are also seeing the light. There are some tools if you are road tripping. One is PlugShare and one is ChargeHub. I use PlugShare. It's an app on your phone. If you're taking a trip, it'll tell you where all the chargers are. So these are all chargers. Our infrastructure here is good. Can it be better? Yes, and it is getting better, but it's good now. There's no like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be stranded. Even 5 years ago, you would really have to plan. There's a lot of charging now. And once you click on one of these, you'll get details. It's kind of like Expedia. People rate the charger for you. This is a 10, this is a 2, don't go there. So you can plan out your trip the night before or even the day of. And it will tell you if it's being used in that moment, and you can go to a different one. It's pretty detailed, and it's very, very handy. Okay, also, it's going to be great for our economy because we're going to be mining up in Sudbury. They have completely electrified their mines up there. They're amazing. We're working very closely with the Indigenous peoples to make sure we minimize the environmental impact. And we're going to be making batteries here and who knows what else. But we have a huge opportunity here because we have those rare minerals and we have the lithium. And we have good practices. You know, we're not sending in child labor or anything like that. So people will be inspired to buy from us, we hope. The infrastructure is good, but not good enough. Acknowledge that. Education, we can definitely do better. So many people just don't understand what it is to drive an EV and how that all works. And oh my goodness, they're always bursting into flames. None of that is true. We need our corporations to, step up and offer incentives and infrastructure and education. Some of them do. A lot of companies, almost all companies I would say now, at least have a sustainability department that looks at these things. And we need to look to government, which did just bring back the $5,000 incentive, by the way. So that's very helpful. We've also started to bring in some of the Chinese cars, and it's already had an impact on the manufacturers here. They're dropping their prices slightly because they know they have to get ready for that kind of competition. So a conversation I had out there was competition is good, and yes it is. So this will be an interesting era for EVs. What are some of the other benefits? I'm probably past my 5-minute thing, but I'm almost done, apologies. Just quickly, so we did a whole study on it, and basically it's around healthcare. There's 313 premature deaths prevented, 2.4 billion a year in social benefits, and 7.6 megatons of annual greenhouse gas reductions with the deployment of EVs. And we know in places like Denmark, where they have mostly EVs, childhood asthma has gone down. All those kind of lung afflictions have gone down. Cancer has gone down. So we sort of take for granted when we walk around that we're breathing in this all the time. Anyway, enough said. So please come to our center in Toronto. We have a whole fleet of cars there. I do have the Chevy Blazer out front. We're not driving it today, but you can sit in it and look at it and play with some of the controls. We're always somewhere in the province. And in fact, we're always somewhere in Canada now. We're traveling east and west with our education trailers. So come and visit us. Come and get behind the wheel of an EV.